Alright guys, so here is my first deck idea, or my first deck build for Aggression Miles Morales. Again, because he has access to much stun and confuse as he has, there is only one way to, well, not only one way, but there is a very cool way to play him and take advantage of some of those status icons. So one of the first ones I really like to play with him is Press the Advantage. This is a card that is 99% always going to hit for 2 damage and draw you an extra card. It's got the mental resource, which can help trigger for your spider camouflage off the swing in. So it's a card I really, really enjoy for that. The other ones we're going to be playing off of is the drop kick. Now again, we did add a few things here. The drop kick is pretty good. It gives you an extra way to stun. Also more card draw, which is always efficient in a fight like this. The other card we're going to add is, again, we're going to be playing off of the villain being stunned a lot and confused a lot. So we're going to be adding 3 toe-to-toe. So we're going to try to maximize damage as much as possible with our events. So there is a lot of events that we are playing, and a lot of these are attack events. So again, one of the cards I really enjoy with Spider-Man Miles Morales, and we can really take advantage of this because of the card Double Life, is actually Plan of Attack. So what you can do is you can go to you can play your Double Life, flip down, recover, play a Plan of Attack, look at the top 7 instead of just the top 4, and choose what you can find your specific hero cards. And the fact that you can, when you flip down, you can put back those web shots and cards like that back into your deck, is you can really, really have some fun here and choosing and manipulating your own deck with the plans of attack to really being able to combo off your cards here and have some fun. So I really like this strategy. It makes for very interesting, like even the toe-to-toes are amazing with him because the villain's going to be stunned or you're going to be tough and it doesn't really matter. So it's very, very efficient. Because we're going to be playing some of these back and forth alter ego things, assault training, I thought I was going to play 2 of them, but I think 1 is good enough. Again, you'll be able to bring back either the toe-to-toes or the drop kicks into your kit, which again is super solid. We did a couple of upgrades. We added a martial prowess. This is going to be really good for the drop kicks. That means we only need 2 physical resources. We added the combat training just because, why not get a +1 attack when you need it. I did add a Yawnborn here because we have so many attack events. We'll be able to use Yawnborn a little bit more effectively. We don't have that many physical icons though. So I was debating on putting a Plan B or a Yawnborn. Because the only physical resources we have in our kit are Jefferson Davies and our spider shooters, our web shooters. So Yawnborn may be like a hit or miss here. So if you don't like Yawnborn, I definitely suggest putting a Plan B instead. Where's my Plan Bs? That's from the Gwen Stacy deck there. So here. So definitely an easy alternate. So if you don't like Yawnborn here, because there's not that many cards, so this might be good because again, if you're drawing some extra cards with the Press the Advantage and then you only have 1 card, having a Plan B on the table, I like it better than Yawnborn. Actually, I think I do like it better than Yawnborn. All things considered, all right, bye Yawnborn, you're out. Plan B it is. So Plan B again for some extra damage. Aside from that, we are adding 3 allies. So I'm adding a couple of spider people I really like. Again, playing into the stun confuse mechanic. We have Spider Girl to be able to go get another one of our specific events. We have Ghost Spider, and then I like Bug because I'm like, oh well, spiders eat bugs, so I figured that'd be nice. And with all of the attack triggers that we can have, having Bug with an energy spear to just take care of all the tough status cards that we might find or come across I thought was just, you know, a no-brainer. Aside from that, we're putting 3 double resources, 2 powers of aggression, again, because we have a bunch of cards, and then we do want to trigger our drop kicks with these powers of aggression. So again, and the fact that they're wild will help as well. And then the final one to help with tough is the audacity. So there you go. So again, super thematic, really diving into the Venom Blast and Spider Camouflage ability to be able to draw cards, to be able to deal damage for free, and to be able to draw more cards, and then just have some recursion into our mechanics. So really take full advantage of the Venom Blast and Spider Camouflage abilities during our turn and during the villain's turn. So I hope you enjoyed this deck. Again, very thematic to Spider-Man. So this is our aggro deck for this young man. All right, let's go see what we can do with protection. All right, guys, so we have our protection build here. So I found a way, and this is something pretty funny. I've tried it a couple times. It was pretty fun to play. It is a very thematic deck. It is, I don't even know what I want to call it. I'm just calling it like, did it hurt? And basically what it is a combination of 2 super fun characters, allies in protection, which is Nova, who's a champion, and he's a champion, and a web warrior. You know, mixing teams. Oh, you know what? That could be a good name for it. You know, team mix up. Oh yeah, let's just have like a wine mixer for the team. So we're going to be using our champion and our web warrior. And these guys are going to be wanting to defend most of the attacks. Now, what does that mean? So Nova has an interrupt whenever a villain initiates an attack. So we'll be able to spend a lightning resource and deal 2 damage. And then we'll defend with Spider UK, who has a health of 5, and says, when Spider UK defends against an attack, deal damage to the attacking enemy equal to the number of web warrior cards you control. Now, because we're playing into this strategy with Nova, we can only have a maximum of 4 web warrior cards on the table at the moment. All right, so we can have our Spider-Man, we have the one that we saw, the Web of Life, and then 2 other and then 1 other Spider ally. So that is only 4 cards. So if when he defends, he's going to be able to deal 4 damage before the villain even deals damage to him. So we're going to try to play off of that. So to play off of Nova, all right, and then to play off of this, we're going to be running a card that we don't normally run, and that card is Subdue. So this is another we're kind of playing into like the damage mitigation team here, using the 3 subdues. So when Spider UK will get attacked, the villain is going to take 2 damage, and then we're going to defend, and we're going to try to lower the cost of that villain's attack by 3. So that should be pretty interesting. So most of the time, the normal villains are going to be hitting for, let's say, maybe 3 or 4, sometimes 6. But if we reduce by 3, we can still kind of keep him into play for a long time. Now, playing into that strategy as well, that we know that we're going to be, using the villain to defend, or using Spider UK to defend most of the attacks, we're going to make sure that Nova has resources to be able to zap them every time they activate. So we got 3 enhanced reflexes for that. Because we're running champions and we're running web warriors, we're playing a team building exercise that will pay for all the other cards that we want to play. So Silk is one of the allies, Ghost Spider, of course, Spider-Man, Hobby, what's his name? Yeah, Hobby Brown. We're going to be playing that Web of Life and Destiny. We're going to be playing Across the Spider-Verse. And then we got a couple of extra treats, which we want to make sure that we keep our Dum healthy. So we are running the 3 med teams just to make sure that he can be up there, and just, again, this is more of a thematic build more than anything else. So basically it's just never actually having to attack and just having our allies kill him just by defending. I love it. I just like, you break yourself on a wall. So also I put a Perseverance in the deck just because we are, again, those double lives we can trigger off of the the flipping form. So that is a great card to add with him. It's basically a free or almost free tough. So that's good. So now the other cards we're going to be playing are resources. So double power of protection. What happened to my camera? Oh, there you go. All right, so double power of protection, double power in all of us, and then the triple resources. Because this is a very expensive deck to play. So this is, again, it's a very thematic deck. It's basically setting up some stuff. And Miles Morales has a lot of time to build because of his status, his Venom Blast and his Spider Camouflage. So we can definitely trigger off of these things. Which is very fun. It's just very fun and thematic. Again, using Nova to just zap the villain before he can even do anything. Spider UK with the subdues, medical teams if he takes a big hit. So -3, so 5 -3. So the villain would have to hit for 8, 9, 10. Oh no, he'd have to hit for 8 after reducing by 3. So no, he'd have to hit by. Yeah, you'd have to hit for 8 to be able to kill Spider UK, but that's why we have Across the Spider-Verse. So even if he does die, we can just bring him back with Across the Spider-Verse card. So again, so a lot of fun ways to kind of play off of the allies, more of a thematic build more than an optimized build. But this is something I think I'm very proud of this one. I thought it was like, it was just pretty fun to play. And again, not broken. If you're playing standard, you're gonna love this because the villains don't attack for that much, so you're gonna have a great time. If you're playing on expert, I think anything short of, again, Ronin or who's the other one that hits like a brick, or Thanos that can hit like for a million, you should have a good time playing this deck. Again, it's very fun and thematic, so there you go. It's all good. So hope you guys enjoyed this one, and let's go see what the next one is with Justice. But I think you guys got to know what kind of Justice deck we're going to be building. All right, let's go see. All right, guys, I'm super excited about this. This is basically an upgraded pre-con for Miles Morales. But I call this deck Dum Dum Gets It Done. It's just super cheese. And it actually works with every single character. It doesn't really matter. It's just a super powerful archetype, and I think this is its ultimate form. If you definitely want to stay in Alter Ego the entire game, you can. Like, there is nothing preventing you from doing this with this type of deck. It is insanely crazy. Obviously, the stalwart villains you'll have to deal with some other way, but this is also going to be triggering off a couple things. So Dum Dum Dugan gets it done. So he costs 5. But you can definitely use some powerful cards to kind of help him. To make sure that Dum Dum does not cost 5, we are adding 2 meditations and the 2 powers of all of us. So that's going to make sure that Dum Dum Dugan can technically cost 2 cards to get him on the table if we get both in the same hand. So there you go. So that is the cheat way to do this. But just because Dum Dum Dugan is on the table doesn't mean he's going to stay there the entire time, because we definitely want to be using him for damage. So we're going to try to hold off on as much damage as we can until we have enough shield cards to be able to exhaust to pump him up to a 6 attack. So that's what we want. Dum Dum Dugan is our primary kill condition, or primary victory condition, while we stay in Alter Ego. Now, that being said, he is not going to be the only one up here. So we have the entire Shield roster, from Nick Fury to Agent 13 to Monica Chang and Quake. Those are going to be our little friends from Shield. We also have our Shield Sky Destroyer that can deal damage. We have our Helicarrier that is going to help us out. We have our 3 field agents that are going to make sure that Dum Dum Dugan does not take more damage than he needs to. We also have 3 surveillance teams. So we have the entire people from S.H.I.E.L.D. coming out. We have 1 under surveillance, just to make sure that, you know what, we We keep that main scheme super low, so it's going to be fun. We have one first aid for Dum Dum if ever he gets a little low. We can always, recover while we get back our things. Between the 3 homeland interventions that should keep any threat down to almost 0, and the 3 global logistics to make sure that we never catch an advance, we should be able to really focus on just like building our board, rolling through our deck. We'll be able to find whatever we're looking for. It's just too good. It's just too good. And again, this is easy reproduced with any hero. So imagine Black Widow with this. Black Widow is just going to be playing poker all night while Dum Dum Dugan takes care of everything. So Nick Fury, you can come in, you can remove threat, or you can deal 6 damage with Nick Fury, or you can draw cards. There's just anything. So it's very, very powerful. Quake, and between Quake and the Sky Destroyer, you'll always be doing like 2 to 4 damage by playing shield cards. If there's a minion, they're never going to be staying on the table that much. The Snoop counters and then the field agents can just reduce all the damage, so you can kind of keep the allies you want to keep, and that's it. And if you actually need extra threat removal, what's good about this is with Miles Morales, technically you can play double life, flip, do his web shot ability, not the web shot, the swing in, or just playing the defense mechanism, and then just thwarting or attacking, and then flip back down and then stay in alter ego. Love this deck. Dum Dum gets it done. Basically my favorite Justice deck for Miles Morales. Super fun. Like I said, even in multiplayer you can have some fun here, because you can remove up to 6 threat with 1 card. It's just crazy. Like if you have 2 homeland interventions and a bunch of shield, you can remove 12 threat off of something. It's just complete bonkers. I don't think it's good in a 4-player game, but with the new side schemes the way they are now, hey, it might actually be doable. So you can play Justice the way you want without worrying too much about threat going up on those side schemes too high. So there you go, guys. So this is my deck idea for Miles Morales, or any hero actually can play this deck. It's Soka. It's called Dum Dum Gets It Done. All right. So let's go see what we find. Let's go see how we play leadership with this guy. All right, guys. So for this next leadership build, it took me a while to think of something cool and original for this deck. But then I remembered Into the Spider-Verse, and this was basically my idea. Having Spider-Man Peter Parker mentor Miles Morales. And I think I built my entire deck around that concept. All right, so this is what we're going to be doing. So Miles, because of Spider-Man's ability to ready a character, we want to be able to ready Spider-Man and have multiple activations with him. So basically having these 2 work together nonstop. Because of the double life, I did include 3 copies of Moxie. I thought this was pretty cool because if I have 1 or 2 in my hand, I can actually make him a 3/3 or a 4/4, and it could be really interesting. And then half the deck is all revolved around Spider-Man. So we have a reinforced suit to make sure he can stay alive. We have an inspired so he can do a little bit more. After that, we have command teams to make sure he can activate a couple of extra times. Here's the team training to make sure he gets an extra health point. And then the sun is just coming in and blinding my... All right, 1 second. All right, so I think this is better now. So yeah, so more activations. So we actually have more activations for Spider-Man, because every time Spider-Man activates, he readies Spider-Man Miles Morales. So this is super fun. So really focusing on kind of like the mentoring aspect of these 2 heroes working together. I think it's super cool. And why is my camera bugging on me right now? All right. So again, to keep Spider-Man alive, we have innovation and first aids to make sure that he's always up to par. But just in case, bad stuff does happen. But bad stuff does happen sometimes. So we got 2 regroups and 2 rapid responses in our deck. Again, so we'll be able to play around that. Now, be advised, like the regroups and the rapid responses are not just for him, because again, We're going to be running a couple of other spiders here. We're going to be running Spider-Man Hobby Brown because he's just awesome to deal damage. And when he dies, what's cool about him is it's after he leaves play. So he can, if I regroup him, I still get the trigger, and if I rapid response him, I still get the trigger. So, and I can do it like more often. So that's super, super fun. And then Ghost Spider just lets me go get some cool cards. And if, let's say, I need to go get a double life, I can get a double life. If I have Moxies, I think it's pretty interesting. So obviously we're going to be running the Web of Life and Destiny, so whoever he gets scrapped. And then we're running also an Across the Spider-Verse again, so if ever I lose Spider-Man or something happens, I can always get and pick him up. And then we wanted to do something a little special here. What if Spider-Man had the symbiote suit? So this was, I think this was my favorite part. It's just like, oh man, what if he starts going to the dark side? Because every Spider-Man has to deal with that. So I thought that was going to be pretty cool. Give him the symbiote suit and really increase his power, getting out of control. But with a +1 of everything, I think it would make it super insane. And then finally, the 3 double resources. So I really like this deck. Again, if you get Spider-Man early, amazeballs. If not, don't worry, pitch him, and you can always pick him up later with Across the Spider-Verse for 2 resources. So it's always good because you just put him into play again, and you can kind of build around everything else. So the deck works even though Spider-Man is not there in your opening hand. There's tons of other cards that you can build off and play around just until you find your combination here. So again, super fun thematic deck. Again, into the Spider-Verse, but learning from the best, I think, is one of my favorite ways to play leadership with this character. Again, including that spider suit. You'll have fun. It's just so good because you'll have his activations. You can defend. You can do so many things. So, and the +10 hit points is just going to make this off the chains good. Even if you're playing heroic for the rest of the game, it don't matter. So there you go. So that is my last deck for Spider-Man Miles Morales. I hope you enjoyed these videos. I hope you try out these decks. I have, and they're pretty fun to play. So again, I know it's kind of sad that April 8th, it will not come soon enough for a lot of you guys. So just, you know what, in the meantime, here, something to think about. Maybe look at my decks and be like, oh man, I have an idea. Maybe this would work with this. And again, I think as the card pool will increase with the new releases, we'll get a lot more ideas to kind of tweak these a little bit. But I think for now, the decks seem to be pretty legit. All right, so I hope you guys enjoyed my take on some deck building for the Spider-Man Miles Morales. So keep on playing Marvel Champions, and I hope these videos will help you play him and beat the game. Ciao, ciao.